Have you ever wanted something so badly that it made you feel weak? There's a hidden part of being a man that nobody talks about. It's the part where desire, when not controlled, turns into neediness. And when a man becomes needy, he loses his power. He loses his peace. See, from a young age, men are taught to chase, to prove, to do whatever it takes to win her over. We're told that love means effort, that love means trying harder, that the more you give, the more you'll be loved back. But that's not true. That's not how desire works. When you chase, you give up your throne. And the truth is, women don't want a man who gives up his power. They want a man who keeps it, who doesn't trade his peace for their attention. Desire is not the problem, but being ruled by it is. So the first step to becoming powerful again is detachment. The kind that says, I want it, but I don't need it. And once you master that, you become a mystery. You become the man she can't quite figure out. The man she regrets ignoring. Want to hear how this power grows even stronger? The magnetic force of absence. You know what makes gold valuable? It's not just that it shines. It's that it's rare. The same thing applies to you. Most men are always around, always available, always texting back in 2 seconds, always offering more and more. But here's the thing. The more someone sees you, the less they feel your value. The more you give without pause, the less they desire what you offer. That's why absence is powerful. Not because it's a game, not because it's a trick, but because it shows you have a life outside of her. And when you live your life, really live it, something strange happens. She starts to notice. She starts to wonder. Why isn't he calling me? Where is he? Who's he with? And that space, that silence, that absence, it builds curiosity. It builds pull. You don't have to chase her attention. You just need to stop giving it away like candy. Become like the moon. You're not always visible, but when you rise, people look up, want to know what happens when your life becomes more than just her. When she's not the center of your world, most men make the same mistake. They meet a woman, they like her, they start thinking about her all the time, and then she becomes everything. Their whole day starts to revolve around her. They cancel plans, they stop growing, they lose focus, all because they want to show her how much they care. But here's the dark truth. The moment you make her your center, she stops wanting to stay. Because no woman wants to be a man's whole world. She wants to enter a world that's already rich, exciting, and full of purpose. She wants to be invited into your story, not become your only chapter. So build your life first. Build your mind. Build your health. Build your mission. Make your days about growth. Make your nights about peace. And let her come along for the ride if she's worthy. She will admire you more when you have a direction. When you're not chasing, but walking your own path. And she will regret walking away from a man who walks strong. Ready to hear how this life of purpose turns into value? Scarcity isn't a game. It's truth. Let's talk about something people misunderstand. Scarcity. Some think it means playing hard to get. But real scarcity isn't a trick. It's a truth. A high-value man doesn't have time to chase. Why? Because he's busy building. He's working on his goals. He's training his body. He's making moves. He's not scarce on purpose. He's just naturally not always available. And that makes him rare. That makes him stand out. If every man is handing out attention like cheap flyers, and you don't, you become gold. Scarcity isn't about ignoring her. It's about choosing yourself first, not out of anger, not out of fear, but because your life demands your full energy. She will feel your absence. She will sense that she's not the center. And that will make her want to earn a place closer to you. Are you ready to hear how emotions play into this quiet power? Emotional control is masculine strength. You know what shakes most men? Reactions. They get ghosted. They panic. She pulls away. They beg. She says something cold, and they crumble. But real power isn't loud. Real power is calm. Emotional control is the core of masculinity. It doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you lead your feelings instead of following them. You get quiet instead of angry. You take a walk instead of sending that long, sad text. You breathe before you speak. Women notice that. They test men all the time, without knowing it. Not because they're cruel, but because they want to feel safe. They want to know you won't fall apart. And when you stay calm under pressure, you pass the test without even trying. Let her wonder why you're unbothered. Let her feel the weight of your peace. She will regret losing a man who never lost himself. Ready to learn what real confidence feels like? Why the man who moves on first wins. Let me tell you something not many guys realize. Sometimes the best move is to move on. Not out of hate, not to get back at her, but because you're not waiting around for someone who didn't see your worth. Most men stay stuck. They check her profile. They wait for a text. They hope she misses them. But here's what that does. It keeps you frozen. It traps your power in the past. Now imagine this. You stop waiting. You stop wondering. You stop needing. And instead, you get busy becoming the best version of yourself. You get better at your craft. You get stronger at the gym. You meet new people, chase new dreams, and you wake up with peace. That's when something crazy happens. She feels it. Not through messages, not through words, but through your energy. She can sense you're not stuck. And now she's the one wondering. She's the one asking, did I lose something rare? You never need revenge. You just need to rise. Want to know the silent signal that makes her pay attention? The silent power of doing nothing. When a woman pulls away, most guys panic. They send long messages. They ask what went wrong. They try harder. They give more. But that's exactly what makes her lose interest. Here's the truth. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. No reply, no begging, no explaining. Just silence. Not because you're cold, but because your energy is too expensive for people who don't respect it. Doing nothing sends a louder message than any word ever could. It says, I'm okay with being alone. I'm not afraid of losing what doesn't want to stay. I'm already enough. That's confidence. That's calm. And when she doesn't hear from you, she starts thinking. And thinking leads to missing. And missing leads to regret. Stillness isn't weakness. It's strength she never saw coming. Want to know what happens when your silence becomes your shield? When your standards become your shield. Let's talk about something powerful. Standards. Most men don't have them. They just want her to stay. They accept bad behavior. They tolerate disrespect. They fear being alone. But when you start raising your standards, when you decide that not just anyone gets your time, you become untouchable. Your standards protect you from fake love, from shallow attention, from people who only come around when it's easy. And the wild thing is, that's what makes you attractive. A man who can walk away. A man who chooses peace over drama. A man who doesn't settle for less just because he's lonely. Women notice. They feel it in your presence. They hear it in your silence. They see it in your choices. You're not here to prove anything. You're here to live in truth. And the truth is, you don't need her. And that changes everything. Want to discover what she thinks when you stop chasing and start shining? When she realizes you're not coming back, there's a moment every woman remembers. It's not when you chased her, not when you begged her. It's when she realized you weren't coming back. That moment, that silence, that stillness, it's loud in her mind because she thought you'd always be there. She thought you'd always care more. She thought you'd always try. But when you didn't, she had to face the truth that you mattered more than she admitted, that you weren't like the others, that you walked away with dignity. And that's when the regret kicks in. Not because you tried harder, but because you didn't try at all. You chose your life, your growth, your future. And now, she's the one remembering. You didn't lose her. She lost you. Want to finish this strong and find out what real freedom looks like? Freedom is the final attraction. You know what's more powerful than being wanted? Being free. Freedom means you don't chase anyone. You don't beg to be chosen. You don't wait to be loved. You choose yourself. That's where all your power lives. In your ability to walk away. In your ability to stay calm. In your ability to love without needing anything back. And here's what happens when you become that man. You attract women who respect you. You attract peace that stays. You attract purpose that never leaves. You stop being pulled by the outside world. You start being led by your own path. That's Stoic wisdom. That's masculine peace. And the woman who once ignored you, she'll see you rise in silence. She'll regret losing the man who mastered his mind. And you'll smile quietly, because you didn't need her regret to feel whole. You were already complete.